Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Great to see you all again for this Friday session, the last day of the week. For everyone, hopefully you're not working the weekend during this. You can come home and get stuck with the rest of us. Get your daily exercise dose in. I'm going to be doing that after I've uploaded this one. And go out for a bit of a ride and get some sun. Get out after last night's just epic marathon on editing photos. Tough work, very tough. Now this was one I think I said to you the other day. I was super excited about this one because I'd done a heap of work. It was a good clear night. Everything seemed really well, and getting into the photos, a heap of Whiteman Park. The day when I went through in the day was come up really cool. That was all good. Obviously I can't leave my tripod from day to night to leave it in the one spot. So those photos I wanted to merge into the night photos didn't really work. Photoshop just couldn't get it. There wasn't enough. It wasn't accurate. My little X in the ground in the dirt I'd drawn wasn't enough. The angles was in the right location but not the right angles and all that sort of rah-rah. And then getting the Milky Way out, there was definitely light coming out of Perth, light pollution coming out, and you see it in the photos. It's just huge. It's ridiculous. If you see guys who've looked at photography, you know, and you've done any sort of astro, light pollution is just a nightmare. Especially because you don't realise how much it just takes away from that Milky Way and just blocks all that beautiful light and colour. Makes me really appreciate those shots I did at Bell's Rapids, those astro, and the other last astro video. That was just a bonza night. Now when I look back at that was just ridiculous. But yeah, I think I got there. I just had to focus really long. I spent a couple of hours at least on one photo, and I've got that really nice. I didn't want it to just be saturated and overkilled and looks just ridiculously photoshopped. I just wanted to try and still have a subtle there, have the tree, and I got it pretty much right. It was a lot of painting, a lot of dodging, burning, filters, radial filters here and there, just trying different things. Then I take that into Photoshop and luminescent and try and clean it up. It didn't work. I was back and forth, as I said, at least I think one photo, and ended up being one photo that I've just cleaned up that's come up really good, and at the moment that's probably the ace. And I've still got to do some more tonight because there's other stuff I've marked I've still got to go and clean up, and I want to see if there's any others that are going to be better than this photo, so there might be another bit in there. So there's a fair bit of work in it. I don't want to rush it. I've got to get it right. But like there's definitely something there that we can use for the video. I don't have a problem with that. They may not be as amazing as those ones from Bell's Rapids last time. And I'm currently in the process of trying to work out next Tuesday night is going to be a bit of a really good night. There should be zero low clouds, or pretty much no clouds. There's stuff all moon till like 3:34 in the morning. The galactic center is super visible, so I've got to work out where to go. Obviously we've got restrictions on where we can and can't go in Perth, so I'm looking at the borders are there and trying to get out into that black zone as much as possible. So I've got an idea. I had an awesome video out of Mundaring Dam back in early January, I think, when I was home. I did one there and I really loved it. It's a beautiful place. There's some great things there, especially over the dam. There's some little brick concrete towers or buildings that they had there. They were for the valves and stuff, and even the dam wall. And I've just got to I've got the base of my research done. I want to go in and check photo pills, see if I can check in the night VR, to see where that Milky Way will sit, then work out what angles I can get to when. So a bit of research, but I've got some ideas there, and I've got a couple other things up my sleeve too. So the life of a photographer, yeah. those images you see that these guys do, and it makes me really appreciate their work, is you don't realise how much preparation goes into going even to try and find a shot, let alone that 90% of the time they don't get a shot. I think one of the boys said a while back they might get one shot a month. So their calendars are 12 months, one shot a month. They might go out for 30 days in a row, and out of that 30 days get one shot they can use for the whole month. And out of that 12 photos, maybe they get a year. One or two of them might end up being one of those epic photos that just goes viral and everyone loves, and you see wherever you look at stuff, so on travel magazines and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a really interesting process, and it's one I'm getting the grasp of a lot more, and I'm understanding the preparation side as much. So it's good, and the work, it's just long hours. I think I've got to bed about 2:30 last night, so I'll and then up again at 7 for Jack. Off at school, little buddy's at school, so he'll be having a ball. He'll be covered in crap everywhere. So I definitely need a bit of sun and a bit of exercise, so I'm gonna get out and do that today. That's the plan. So, but I do have some info and news for you today. So let's get stuck into that. Right, Toyota. We've got the FJ series here in Australia. In America, they have a minivan Sienna series, I believe. They're talking about a new FJ Cruiser. It's going to be a minivan. It's going to be a hybrid, full camper van style. So all the seats will lay down flat. Very cool. Looks pretty cool. It'll have 3 engines, 2 petrol and 1 hybrid. Very funky, similar I'd say in regards to like your Volkswagen camper vans with that sort of setup. That's what that style. So it's no leather or anything, just cheap cord pulls for the doors. In each door you've got little panels you can pull down and store stuff, so you can, if you're sleeping in it for long times and bits and pieces like that. Very, very cool, and it doesn't look too bad for a Toyota. I'm not a big fan of Toyota. But it does look pretty cool, so I thought I'd mention it. And for like a camping, the way you could lay all the seats flat, pretty much from the back of the car all the way up to the dash was one flat section with just the driver and another seat behind them. So like that's it, and even that one could go down. And worst case, you could put the driver's seat down and have a flat bed, have a mattress, and 2 people could easily sleep in that overnight and camp if it was raining or whatever, bad weather, and you couldn't put your tent up or something. So pretty darn cool. Hybrid as well, so even in that sort of space of possible camping van, you've got a hybrid, so it's not always petrol. You can go electric, you get that economy in there, and you get that, I guess, feeling of doing the right thing. And then you can also go out and take it somewhere and do things with it. So very cool. Very cool. Pretty cool looking bit of gear. I think it's a cool 6 ton. Also, now the next big one on the drone side, if you're looking for a new drone or into the drones, yesterday Auto EVO II dropped the new series of drones, and it looks pretty darn spectacular. Up until now, you've had the DJIs, which is basically the best if you want to go and film something or take photos of something, or they got the 6-7K range, which is amazing, quality controls, really good tech. So it's all what you don't lose it, you don't crash it, really good customer care service, all that sort of thing. That's been DJI. DJI have been the king of drones. Skydio come out last year. We've talked about them and how the idea of what they were doing, and I think for what I'm after, I think that's definitely a lot better, because it's tracking ability and ability to dodge stuff. So I can go on a BMX ride and get that B-roll and get that stuff and film it. You can also control a little, but not a lot. But it was more so, and had it more so in mind of when we go fishing, you can just basically, if you start getting a bite on, you can quickly chuck the drone up, shoot it up, and then just film it, and you guys can fish and just get it all that footage on there. So that'd be pretty cool. Now the Auto EVO II series, there's 3 models. It's come out around about the $3,000 Australian mark, I think, and that's for the 8K version. That's correct, 8K in a drone. It's here, newer's coming. I did say the other day, DJI's releasing a new drone. I guarantee you now that's going to have 8K. There's not a doubt about that if Autel have got it. Excuse me. Now, there's 3 ones. There's the basic 8K version, you've got a Pro version, which is a 6K video, but it's got a 1-inch 20 megapixel sensor on it, so that's a huge sensor for a drone. That gives you, we'll talk a bit more about that. And then the third one is basically a stock standard sort of a video, so maybe a 4K, and it's also got the infrared in there. So that's for those guys for looking for search and rescue or doing technical repairs and stuff. They can put that FLIR sensor to use and get infrared and check stuff out. So that's pretty cool. So that's more of a business side. But you've got your base model, which is 8K Pro, 8K now, and then the 1-inch 20 megapixel 6K Pro version. So that's pretty cool. Now the main battery on what goes through the fleet it's a 7100 milliwatt amp battery. So that's huge. That gives you 40 minutes flight time, which is awesome. 9K range and no loss of transmission for 9Ks. Improved sensors and all improvements in that regards, obviously, so it doesn't lose service. 9Ks are ridiculous. You wouldn't be able to do that here in Australia anyway, because you still have to have line of sight from what I did when I did my base course. So, yeah. Anyway, you can see 9Ks away, it's lying, but 9Ks, that's pretty awesome. It means basically you can go anywhere and do whatever you want to do. You're going to be covered for range-wise, that's no dramas. It's got 12 sensors for obstacle avoidance. Now what that allows it to do, it can fly itself and follow you basically at the same level from what the video they had on their site as the Skydio, so a similar sort of functional level as a Skydio2 with those 12 sensors, but you can also fly it completely by yourself or with the obstacle avoidance in there, so you don't crash it. It'll just give you warnings and beacons. You can adjust the sensitivity and you can fly it yourself like the DJI, so you have the best of both worlds in one drone. Very, very big, that part, I think. Obviously 8K video, huge amount there. What you could do with that, you'd be able to take it, it's going to crop in, you can get in there, the detail, that's really cool, great for videos. You don't have to use the whole 8Ks, but it allows you to then reduce that file size down to 4K and you'll still be able to get in and get great detail out of what you're doing. The Pro version, as I said before, it's the 1-inch sensor, 6K resolution for the video. Very, very cool. Now that has a different aperture. So the 8K has a 1.8 aperture lens. The 6K 1-inch sensor version has got a 2.8 to 11 aperture. So it's fully adjustable on your controls. It's really good. So if you're more into the photography side of things and you're doing stuff in that regards, or looking for more of a, I guess, a better dynamic range, which is definitely going to be on that 1-inch sensor. That's definitely going to be the YouTuber's version, I think. If you can get that, you still get all the sensor stuff and all that, you just don't have that 8K. The 8K is great. I think you'll see the Pro version, which is about a couple of $100 more US, so probably around about the 3,500 mark. That's probably going to be the one that sells a heap, just purely because of that sensor, the ability to adjust your apertures on it, which is going to be great for early mornings, afternoons and daylights once you add on your ND filters. There's a battery in the controller because that has its own inbuilt screen. That's 5,000 milliamps, so that's going to have plenty of grunt. 128 gig of storage on an SD card. straight in the units. That's cool. It does have 8 gigs of internal, but that's probably going to be not much. 8 gigs not really going to do much, especially at that 8K. You're going to need at least 128 gig. I think they need to look at upping that 128 gig maybe to 256 if you're pumping it at 8K. I'm not sure what format. I'm assuming it may be like a HEC format or something, which might compress it a bit so you don't need as much. But yeah, definitely interesting to look at to look at that. ISOs, the 8Ks 100 to 3200, so not too bad. It'll still do most low light stuff, and then your Pro version, that's going to go 100 to 6400, so a little bit more flexibility there, and it's mostly all that sensor and that lens on that one. And yeah, wow, what a bit of kit. I think this is going to sell super fast. The place in Sydney that had them on sale at $3,100 were already sold out. If you are looking for one, definitely start saving your pennies. There's a lot of coin, $3,500, but it looks like a really nice bit of kit. I can't wait to see the first couple of reviews on it and see the images out of it and see what it is. Unfortunately, most of the drone guys don't do a lot of video or photo footage, so hopefully we can get one of the camera boys, maybe one of the big guys, maybe Potato Jet or Peter McKinnon or something, to just get one of these and go out and use it for some video and take some shots with it and just give us a good idea of it. But yeah, very cool. Now on to the last thing, into a bit of daily COVID update. Stimulus package is gone out in the States. That's pretty cool. Donald Trump wants his name on the checks. He's the first president to try and get his name put on the check. The Late Show did a bit of a fake check up. It was pretty cool, I thought, so I've chucked that. That's why I chucked in the thumbnail. He's trying to get his name on there, so it looks like he's giving you the money, so I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know how he's going to go getting that to happen, but yeah, very weird. Right, now their stimulus goes out to pretty much everyone as far as I know. Our stimulus package seems to be getting technically and painfully a lot harder for everyone. Basically that $700 was going out to a lot of the pensioners. Now the pensioners are the ones the most affected, so they now can't leave the house. So they've been given all this massive amount of cash, but they can't leave to get it, to use it. Most of the pensioners don't use internet and don't go internet shopping. They use it to go to the shops to buy food and groceries and stuff. They don't blow their money online. So I know with my auntie, she wanted to go and get it, but we told her to stay there and just leave it there unless you really need the money, because she goes to ATM. It's probably one of the worst places to go, the ATM with the fingers over everything. But yeah, that's the trick. I don't think they thought about that as much. And then it's now apparently means tested. I've had family that have lost their job that can't get it. My wife can't get it because of my job and a lot of other things. So that's pretty disappointing that it just seems to be like the only ones that are going to get it your long-term dole bludgers that are probably going to go straight to the drug dealer, which is keeping it local. That's good. They'll go and get their drugs local, but the drugs are probably coming from an overseas syndicate, so realistically the money's going overseas, which we're trying not to get too far. Hopefully it's all homegrown stuff. Who knows? And also the $1,500 JobKeeper. Big thing on that is a lot of reports coming out on businesses charging their employees admin fees up to $200 out of the $1,500 a fortnight to process it, because obviously they've shut shop, all these people are out of work. They've got to sit there and do all the books for all these pay and keep processing these pay. So what they've decided is that we're going to charge you a processing fee to charge us to give you the cash. Wow. Didn't see that coming much. Of course we did. And also some owners reports some owners charging anywhere up to $600. If you want the money, we'll give it to you, but it's going to cost you $500 to $600 you have to give to us. for us to do it for you. So a lot of that. And then the biggest concerning one, we knew there was going to be greedy guys trying to rip the system off, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of them in Chapel Street. But the owners that are just going, nah, it's too hard, I couldn't be bothered, and just not doing it at all. And that also comes back to, I read an article from MyOb on Facebook, how they're saying that before you start just willy-nilly chucking these checks out to everyone and paying everyone this $1,500, make sure your books are up to date. So they're saying go through, make sure you've got all your bookwork covered, you've got everything in line, because the Aussie government has written into this legislation that if you dodge stuff up or get it wrong, then they can come back, take the money and charge that business interest. Wow. Right, how to make something positive, totally negative, Aussie government. So pretty piss poor from Morrison's government. I thought the whole idea of this was people who just lost their job to not be blowing all their savings trying to stay alive, get this friggin' money out. When Labor guys, it doesn't matter if you like them or not, well, they did that stimulus back then. I used it for my HR licence. I've mentioned it before, the $900. I paid for my HR licence to get me into the mining, so that was perfect. It was really positive for me. That just turned up in my bank. Like, what the hell, man? By you giving it to the employers, who then now got to do all this work to go and transfer it and do that, why the hell? Like, they're not getting anything out of it. Like, they can just go, we'll go away and I can just re-employ you when you come back. Like, yeah. I think they might have made a big boo-boo here with the process. It should have just been, if you've lost your job, basically put it in or reduce the amount and just give it to every taxpayer. Anyone who pays tax gets so much a fortnight. That's probably the simplest way. But anyway, what do I know? Anyway, it's not looking good. The stimulus has been a disaster in Australia. Job seekers, and just the whole thing's just a total rort. It's taken 2.5 weeks just for my wife to work out that she can't get any of it at all. Not the basic dole, not the stimulus or the job seeker, because she's 2 months out. She's only been there 10 months as a casual, so she loses that. And then, yeah, screwed. What do you do? And that's another day. That's the week. 22 long. A little bit quicker today. Sorry if I waffle on a bit. Have a great weekend. I hope it's not too bad and you can relax and watch some TV and switch off, and I'll be back again Monday with some more info for you. A couple of things. Don't forget, DJI's got their new release coming up. We've got some Canon announcements, which should be next week. So next week's going to be a big week. Make sure you stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, hit it down below. Smash that bell. Hit the like. And I'll see you all Monday. Ciao. Oh, if you're going that way, that way, that way, that way.